underneath the soil or hidden in the ground. There's a lot of treasures to be found. Dirty secrets of Scotland.
Hello and welcome to Dirty Secrets of Scotland from here at the bottle tip, my favourite bottle tip in this area. Anyway, there was a part of the tip that I dug last year. It was quite deep, but it's good because it's been quite dry. I think it's actually going to rain today, but yeah, it's been quite dry recently, so I'm hoping that it's not going to be too muddy at the bottom and swamp-like. We'll see. Enough talking and let's get digging. Quite interesting what's going on here. There's like a layer of ash, white powdery ash, then a layer of sand, and in the white ash there's all those screw tops over there, and underneath you're getting slightly older stuff coming out. So I think there's been a layer, there's been two different times they've been dumping at this exact spot. This whole tip always confuses me. Just when you think you're getting your head around it, you're not. Anyway, so this is like pure sand. Another layer. Layering is always good though, so let's see what comes up. Look at that, really powdery. You can actually see in that spadeful the layers. So this is interesting. There's lots and lots of layers going on. I'm excited. Let's see what comes up. Oh yeah, and this, I found a gin. It's not particularly old. I don't know if it's a screw or, I don't think it's a screw. But anyway, so it's corroded on. But what I do with these is poke them through when I find them and have a sniff and see if it still smells like gin. That is... That actually smells nice. If it wasn't for the fact that I was driving, just saying. Just found this. It's like a wee pony horseshoe, and I'm hoping that brings me luck. When Nicola was here, she found a big horseshoe and she's got loads of luck. Even if I get comparative luck compared to the size of the horseshoe, I'll be happy. I'm hoping this works because I've got you actually stuck into the side wall above where I'm digging. I'll take it gently, but there's something here. It looks like a stoneware. I'm hoping it's not an old battery. Sometimes old batteries had like a stoneware coating around them. Oh, nice. Oh, cool. Look at that. That's an Apollinaris bottle. I've had a few of these in the past on this tip, but this is lovely. I love these. Actually, Northern Mudlarks found some of these when they were here as well. A couple. Beautiful. It's got a number on the front, you see. Actually, that might have been part of a label. Let's get it out and clean it up. Okay, here we go. I can't find my brush, so I'll use this cloth. But yeah, there was potentially some label there, but can't read that. Anyway, number 15. I think Gail and Alex said that the letter here indicated the potter. I think that might be an iron L. Number 15, I guess that's the bottle. Number 4, Apollinaris. These are Victorian. These are from the 1890s, I believe. So this is a belter. Lovely to find these. It's an absolute belter.
Underneath the soil or buried in the ground, there's a lot of treasure to be found. Dirty secrets of Scotland. Through the fields and woodland, with trusted spade in hand, bramble, rose and hawthorn.
Just done a couple of bits. This vulcanite here, stopper. It's a later one because it's clear glass. Still probably like 1930s, I guess. Oh look, it's a later R. Douglas. Kirkcaldy. Ladybank. Obviously it is machine made, this one. Or at least I think it is, it has to be. Yeah, I think it's machine made, but it's cool to find these anyway. I actually might have a date on this, so I'll have a look at it and come back on. I'm not sure if that's going to focus on that, but that says 1932, so it is, it's a 30s one. It's about 10 years later than the ones I normally get. But that's a lovely bottle anyway, and it's local. Let's open it if we can. Yep. So there you go, 90-year-old bottle. All right. Just found this. Looks like a drinking glass. Doesn't appear to be damaged. I'll probably end up keeping it if it isn't damaged. Maybe a wee nick there, I'm not sure. Oh, but I just had an idea. Here's the glass I found. It's a little bit dirty. You get the idea. Gin, anyone? I don't think I'd like to drink that gin. I don't think gin's meant to be brown. I'll tell you what though, that smells just exactly like gin, like normal gin. That's so weird. Oh, tempting. Just found this. I call them pub tiles. I'm sure you just got them in houses as well, but the pubs that I like to go to, I think are Coddy, Betty Nichols for example, the Viewers Arms, have these on the wall, and obviously these are Victorian, they've been chucked away when a building's perhaps been demolished, or maybe it is just a fireplace, I don't know. But yeah, I love them. I absolutely love them. I don't know why. I think it's just like having a part of the pub in your house. It's kind of cool. Just found this. It's a fork. I don't think it's silver, but sometimes they are. Even the green ones that have got the verdigris on them turn out to be silver, because the silver quality wasn't always great. But I just think that this one's copper alloy. Talking about copper though, I just found this as well. Huge big nail. I think that's solid copper. Look at the verdigris on that. Why would you throw that away? It must be worth a fortune. I suppose back then maybe it wasn't, but then again, I mean, you were in the 30s, so they didn't know what was right round the corner. And the 40s, of course, when they needed everything that they could get, so they probably wouldn't have thrown this away had they known. Again, this is all corrugated iron. I'm trying to get through. Corrugated iron, of course, they made into bomb shelters, so they probably regretted throwing that away in a few years. But also down there, I don't know if you can see it, the stopper there. So I think that's a little bit earlier. I'll dig that out on camera now. There you go, leading bottle. And this is probably from the 20s, so down at the bottom it's a bit older, which is what I'd hoped. Cool, let's have a look at it. Here it is. C. Adamson leaving. Check the top. It's got some gunk in it. I don't know exactly what that is, but seems to be in good order. Actually, no, there's a little ding there. I don't know if you can pick that up on camera. So that bottle will be going into the collection of bottles that I'm cutting down and making into beer glasses, which I'll put up, ones that I've already done, on screen now. And this can join them. Just found this. It's a bottle of gold. It's probably real gold. Well, gold leaf anyway, all ground up. Because that's what they did, they made paint with real gold back then. So look at that. And it's an older bottle as well, it's drippy lippy, it's really thick and crude, it's not machine made. So it just shows you it's mixed up at this tip sometimes. But that's gold. Gold! Always believe in your soul. What's that? Gold finger, no, that's not going in. Plain medicine, but aqua glass again, so yeah, going the right way for age. Looking good. Just found this. I found one of these before, This is a later one though, this is a screw top. It's Macassar oil. I think I did a feature on this actually. Gives you the exact address on it, London EC1 I think. Hatton Garden. The original and genuine. It's a bit belt and braces, isn't it? The original and genuine. Just found this. It's like a lid of something. It's got holes through it. But what's interesting about it is it's handmade and it's not round by any stretch of the imagination. You see that? It's really uneven. I wonder what that was for. I wonder if they had to make it to fit something that wasn't perfectly round. Very odd. Just had this big Boots Cash Chemist bottle. Clear glass, but lovely anyway. I think that's the biggest one I've ever found actually. That's really cool. Like that a lot. Next to the Boots Cash Chemist, nice older bottle. See what I mean about this tip? It's hard to get your head around it. Anyway, yeah, this is probably like 10 years older, maybe more. Cool though. Let's keep going. About to go in my bag for a snack. Excuse me, mate. Can you mind just off you pop? Don't want to harm you. I want to get my snack out though. There you go. Happy on your nettle there. Just had this. It's a screw bovril. It's not that exciting, but look at the label. Ball Digger Tom loves that. Labels. I don't get them very often on this tip because it's really wet and they just dissolve, but I know it's a later bottle, but that's cool, right? Just had this Patterson's bottle. Glasgow, it's an ammonia bottle. It's green, it's a lovely colour, the green though. They're normally much darker than that. I wonder if it's actually a drippy lippy. You know what, I think it is. I think it's a neat drippy lippy, which means it's in the right age. So I started going in this direction, away from the trees, and started finding drippy lippies, which is great. Lovely big poison bottle. Lunchtime roundup. So what have we got? So this is my favourite find so far, this Apollinaris bottle from Germany. Mineral water, Victorian, so a late chuck out, but yeah, that's great to find that. This Boots Cash Chemist bottle, which I think might go pink, amethyst colour in the sun from the manganese that was used in it, but we'll see. I'll put it outside and see if it does. The Macassar oil, which I featured in an earlier video. Pub tile, as I call them. I love these, collecting these. I've probably got about 10 of them now, whole ones, which is great. These paste pots. I've actually got three paste pots, different styles, but people buy them now. So in fact, that one's got a bit of a label on it. Check that out. Looks like a Heinz label in the 30s. Wee beautiful colour this. I'll definitely get that on the Etsy store. Wee panel bottle, lovely. I'm not sure if this is copper or not. It's got verdigris on it, so it probably is. Little fork. Local mineral bottle, which I'll cut down because it's damaged at the top. It's still got the top in it. This is my lucky bottle, which I didn't dig today. I bring with me every time. Bottle of gold, as you do. Very nice. This, which is a really nice blue colour, but it's the first time I've ever seen one with a label on it, ever. That's crazy. Can't really see what it says. There's not much left of it, but there you go. Moving on. It's a wee pumpkin flask. It was probably 4711 Eau de Cologne. Lovely little horseshoe. That's so cute. This lid, whatever it is, really crudely made. This is lovely as well, this big Glasgow drippy lippy bottle. I found a few of these that have got later ones that have got vulcanite stoppers, but this is much nicer, it's much older. Far prefer that style. Talking about vulcanites, this is a later Kirkcaldy bottle. I think we said it was 1932 if you look at the top, but that won't focus. Anyway, I'll take a picture of it. And of course, a big plain marmalade, which I find on every dig. So that would be the lunchtime roundup. This was hiding this wee glass. Well, I don't know if it is a glass. I think it was probably for a product. It says Wilkin underneath. But yeah, it totally stinks of gin now. I was going to hold it up to the camera to see if you can smell it. Yeah, good idea. There you go. It's well, I suppose it could be used as a glass. Why not? I just went for a wander around my spoil pile to see if I could find anything. Not that exciting a bottle, but look at that label. Look at the details on that. I can see what it says. It says Stevenson's Furniture Cream. You can see it bleaching out in the sun already, but wow, that is about as good as it gets on this tip for labels. Just had this, it's enormous. Not sure if that's off a railway or something. It looks like a sign, or what was a sign. Yeah, not sure. Other side's plain, just covered in rust and ash, but oh, it's just coming apart, look. Yeah, it's a shame, but it'd be nice to know what that was. If you know what that is, please do let me know. Just had this. It's an Anzora bottle. It's a wee bit earlier than the ones I've been finding. Sorry, there's a fly buzzing around my head. But look at that label. I'm going to start taking pictures of these because this is crazy. You don't normally get labels here. Got to take a picture of that. You can see with the embossing on the side. Try not to touch the label. You'll have seen me take these out. In fact, I've featured this company before, but I'll get a picture of this just now so you can see it better. Check this out. That's a brick. It's like half the size. In fact, it's less than half the size. It's about a third of the size. Doesn't have a name on it or anything, but mini brick, brilliant. Mini brick. Another label. Let's have a look at it. Here we are. The other side got pretty much wiped off when I was caving in. I'm pretty sure that's Dettol. That sword on there. Antiseptic. Something. Can't see the bottom, but the top would have said antiseptic. I'll get a picture of that anyway. I think it does say Dettol, you know. Cool. With that caving, I've just really exposed the layering. So you get the dark at the top, and then you get this light ash. Then you get sand, then you get dark ash underneath. And I think there was a cannon there that blew up or something, but look at that for layering. Very nice. I've just had to put this on this little towel because pieces are falling out of it all over the place. And I'm sort of frightened to touch it actually. This is a stained glass window, probably from a church. I mean, it might be one from a home. This is an amazing find. I never thought I'd ever find a stained glass window. This fell out, this was just lying on the ground. And the reason I say church is you see how crude that is. That doesn't look too modern to me. See the ripples in that? They used to form panes of glass in a circular motion. They would make it into a great big disc. They'd blow it out first on the pipe and then they'd make it go out and out and out and out. That's how they formed panes back then, and that's why it's got all those ripples. That is an incredible find. That is amazing. I saw it, I thought, what's that? It can't be a stained glass window. It blooming is, you know. That could be seriously, seriously old. I don't know about you, but finding a stained glass window, I'll pick this up very carefully. It's got to be up there with the best finds ever on Dirty Secrets of Scotland. Okay, so it's in terrible condition. You know, I'll have to take this home and really clean it up. I'm not going to do too much to it though. That is an absolute belter. And I'm not going to dance with this one. But I am going to dance. And now I'm going to do a little bit of interpretive dance for a stained glass window. Oh, what a belter. I can see you. Actually, it ruins it if I put my face behind it. I'm not going to do that. That's amazing. As is often the case in Dirty Secrets of Scotland, stained glass window, 1, 2. That's the first one. This is the second one. And I found these bits just lying around beside it. I've been sifting through looking for more. Still got the roots through it. How gorgeous is that? I mean, I know it's dirty, but that's amazing. I could potentially restore one of those. Oh, that's broken, that's a shame. From the 2. That's crazy. I don't know how old they are. I'm thinking they're probably not medieval just by the style now. Looks more Charles Rennie Mackintosh. But wow, what a find. Not 1 stained glass window, 2! I'm not going to dance for either of those finds, they're just too amazing and too fragile. But yeah, I'm going to dance for the second one as well.
Underneath the soil or buried in the ground, there's a lot of treasure to be found. Dirty secrets of Scotland.
Just found this octagonal Milton bottle. I'll say Milton on the bottom, I'm sure. They're lovely bottles, they're just poison bottles, but they're amber. Yeah, Milton. There you go. Just found these. Couple of little pub tiles, as I call them. Lovely. Oh, I love the crazing, check that out. That's cool. And the green one especially. If it's intact, which I think it is. So I've got that bigger one as well, just give me a sec. Slightly larger one from earlier in the first half. I really love these tiles, they're so cool. I'm thinking I might make a tabletop with them or something. Just have the whole table completely covered in them. I thought that might be quite nice. Found this. It's not associated with stained glass window, but it's lovely anyway. Fastest on the side, or beveling or whatever they call it, in the glass trade. That's really cool. That'll clean up really well. It's aqua glass as well. Don't know what I'll do with that, but you don't find things like that that aren't damaged. I'm looking at it now for damage and I'm not actually seeing any at all. And it's hand cut as well. Those are super sharp, those edges. So that's really nice. What an interesting dig this is turning into. Doing a bit more caving in. You see, folks? Yeah, this one's easy. There we are. Nice wee pouring ink. Is it love it and love it? Yes, it's love it and love it. And indeed, and I know I've done this joke before, but it's coming again. I do love it. Nice. Folks, you won't believe this, I've just found another one. This one's in worse repair than the others, but there's still pains in it. That one's just coming out. It is coming out, really coming out. Show you, look. That's stunning. If we could get it to focus. That's beautiful. Handmade. So that's 3. I've had to dedicate the Belterali towel now to these, but it probably would have been used for that anyway. So now I've got 3 or 2 and a bit stained glass windows.
It's the history bit. Coloured glass has been made since ancient times. Both the Egyptians and the Romans manufactured a wide range of coloured glass objects. However, stained glass windows took far longer to show up in the history books. In early Christian churches of the 4th and 5th centuries, there are many remaining windows which are filled with ornate patterns of thinly sliced alabaster set into wooden frames, giving a similar appearance to that of stained glass. Evidence of true stained glass windows in churches and monasteries in Britain didn't show up until a wee bit later though, during the 7th century. As an art form, it reached its height in the Middle Ages, when it became a major pictorial form, used to illustrate the narratives of the Bible to a largely illiterate populace. During the Reformation and the dissolution of the monasteries under Henry VIII, many thousands of windows were destroyed. Fast forward to the 19th and early 20th century, during the Art Nouveau period, stained glass design appears in the work of Scottish designer, architect and artist Charles Rennie Mackintosh. The technique for early stained glass manufacture that I was talking about on the dig is known as crown glass. This hand-blown glass is created by blowing a bubble of air into a gather of molten glass and then spinning it either by hand or on a table that revolves rapidly like a potter's wheel. The centrifugal force causes the molten bubble to open up and flatten. It can then be cut into small sheets. Concentric curving waves are characteristic of this process, similar to the examples that I dug. Crown glass is still made today, but no longer on a large scale.
I've now changed up my technique. I've got my knee pads on, down into the hole, and what I'm doing is scooping out and looking into the spoil every time I'm throwing it over. And there, look, that is a piece of one. It's clear nearly, but that is stained glass, so it's worth doing this and just sifting through to see if I can find any more of the glass. So yeah, I might as well just keep this on, and yeah, I'll keep digging it out and see if I can find any more. Not sure what that is, a bit of a tin, I think. Using the fork now, just to loosen the back wall. I mean, there might even be another whole one, who knows? It's a screw jar. More fragments of stuff. That was like a bit of a kitchen sink, actually. I keep going on about these. It's like cans that have rusted away to virtually nothing under the ground. When you find them and this is virtually whole, they just do this. And that's how you know it's not been dug. Little tip there. I was hoping it would be a sign, but even if it was, look at that. It's like a sieve. Oh. Big old pot. That remains of one anyway. Oh, there's more of it. Well, I'm not seeing any more for the time being anyway. So I'll probably stand up now and scoop all that out properly with my spade. That was fun. Just had this pot, and actually I tipped it over because it was upside down, and this fell out. You can see what it was. What's cool about it is it's got a label on it. Again, another thing with a label. Although they don't normally say anything on the bottom, but this one does. It says ship 'em, so I know it's a meat paste. It's just a really big one. I want to try and clean this. What I've been doing is just giving it a very gentle wipe with a cloth. But I don't have a cloth now because it's used for stained glass windows. So I'm going to use this leaf. I'm pretty sure it says Shipham's, but it's very hard to see. But it's definitely the first one that I've seen with a label on it. Just found this dinky little HP sauce. Check that out of the label. That must be a sample, surely. Surely they wouldn't make them that size. It's got to be a sample. Lovely. I'll put it next to the other labels. It has to be said they are fading. Full-time roundup. This is the stuff that I found in the first half, so just giving you a visual recap there. And this is the second half. Got these lovely little tiles, the pub tiles as I call them. Never tired of finding them. 2 coloured ones and some plain ones. These ones cut very specifically at an angle. This is all just lead, but I want to make that into fishing weights. Lead fishing weights for the sea. Milton poison ball. This lovely piece of glass. All of these labels, but you can see now, that's why I took pictures of them, because they'll be completely gone in a couple of hours. This is a pouring ink, which is lovely. Another one of these paste pots to go with the ones from the first half. And then over to Belter Alley. Now I probably would have put the Apollinaris bottle in here, but I don't want to disturb these. I want to try and keep them as good as possible. So 3 stained glass windows. I don't think I'll ever find a stained glass window again. I did chase that seam all the way back and it just came to nothing. So it was 3 of them. But yeah, 3 stained glass windows, just as you do when you're bottle digging. Cool, so that's the full-time roundup. Just filling in, I found this. Lovely colour. Looks like a pearl. That's certainly a bead anyway. Beautiful. See the colours in there, that's gorgeous.
I don't know an awful lot about beads, but I do know a couple of people that do. Gail and Alex, the Northern Mudlarks. So I text Alex to see if she knew anything about this type of bead. Of course, Alex knew right away and told me the following. It is certainly opalescent glass. Cracked glass beads were fairly popular in the 1920s. I'm pretty sure it's Czech. Alex also sent me this photograph as an example of these beads on a string. So there you go folks, a Czech opalescent cracked glass bead from the 1920s. Thanks Alex.
All filled in. Thanks for joining me on Dirty Secrets of Scotland. Had a really enjoyable dig and I hope you enjoyed watching it too. Until next time. If you wish to support Dirty Secrets of Scotland, you can do so in 3 ways. 1. You can buy us a coffee over on Ko-fi. 2. You can buy the things that we craft and also the treasures that we dig out the ground over on Etsy. And 3. You can become a patron of Dirty Secrets of Scotland over on patreon.com. Thank you so much to the people that are doing that already, and please do consider doing it yourself. It really does help the channel. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel. It's free of charge and it really does help us. And now I've got to fill that in. It'll only take me an hour, you know. Nothing serious. On a Saturday.
Willie's rainy day creations. Hello, as some of you may know now, I do the music for this channel and also for my partner Sarah's channel, She Walks, She Paints, and she's asked me for a piece of music that she can paint to. So something quite mellow that builds up and then gradually becomes a little bit more fast-paced, just to keep the listener interested. So I'm going to build it up, and the first thing I'm going to put down is the guitar, the acoustic guitar. So that's what I'm going to do now. And that's the first guitar part recorded. The second part has more pace to it, there's more notes, so I'll do that next. Okay, that's that. Next up is the bass. Okay, here comes the bass part. I don't play in the first part. This is just the guitar by itself, and I'll put in some keyboard as well. So I come in the second time round. Okay, here it comes. Hang there, and I'll cut that there. The bass is being recorded by a cable, so I don't have to mute everything, and it's not using a microphone, it's using an actual cable directly into the box here. So that's that done, and next up will be piano. Okay, here goes. Really simple part. I'll probably mess around with that, but that's pretty much it for now. To add a bit of pace, I'm going to add a kick drum now, and it's just one note on the piano here. And that's all you need because it's so intricate on the guitar. If you add more than that, it's just going to sound messy, so that's all I'm going to put in for now. Let's do it. Here comes the pace. Next up we have the egg shakers. And now the tambourine. And the finger snaps. And this is how it sounds together. Sarah likes it, which is a win in my book, and I hope you enjoyed watching me create it. Here's how it sounds once it's had a mix. Just wanted to say something. I've touched on this before, but it's for the new subscribers that are coming in. We're getting a lot of new subscribers, and that is fantastic. Keep coming in, that's all good. But I just wanted to say about the comments section. Sometimes Sarah and I don't have a chance to answer every single comment every single week. It's just impractical with the busy lifestyles that we have. Most of which is dedicated to making these videos. And we actually worked out the other week that on the average week, it would take me about 8 hours to answer every single comment, and that's only dedicating 2 minutes. When I'm answering comments, I really like to think about and take my time. So some comments will take like 5 minutes to answer, some will take 2 minutes, but certainly not less than that. I'm actually reading every comment, and that's why I put little hearts beside them. That means that I've read it, and the heart is a thank you to whoever it is that's left a comment. Some of the time I get a chance to go back and answer it. Some of the time I'm too busy making these videos, out digging, making the music, editing the videos, researching the finds, all that kind of stuff. It takes an awful lot of time. So please don't be offended if I don't answer your comment right away. I will try to answer it. Sometimes it won't get answered,
please don't take that personally. But yeah, please do keep the comments coming in. We really appreciate them and we read every single one. Thanks a lot.
Underneath the soil or hidden in the ground, there's a lot of treasures to be found. Dirty secrets of Scotland.
There's no way I'm dancing with those things, they're too fragile, but I will do a little second dance for the second one. I've already started. This is wrong. I'll start again. Okay, this is wrong. Right. Okay, I've already started. I'll start again. Right. This is wrong. I'll start again. Okay, I've already started. This is wrong. I'll start again. Right.